It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to The Local Show. It's the 2023 Winter Edition. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my good friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. On The Local Show, we feature conversations about local businesses, and we talk with the business owners, the CEOs, the CFOs, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. Now, we talk about how they got into business and why they're doing business here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. You'll hear all about their successes, their challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. We say a hearty, healthy, happy weekend to Steve Roberts. How are you there?
I'm great, Tom. Can this be the early spring edition?
No, not yet.
And look, it's only a couple weeks away. 3.
We're still.
How about early spring?
No, next week.
Will you do it for me?
Next week we'll do it.
Okay. Early spring.
Early spring, I promise.
Oh, okay. Because the weather last week felt a little like winter finally showed up, but
yeah.
Early spring. All right, I like that.
Next week's my death day, birthday. I mean, did I say death? My wife was asking me what kind of cake that I wanted, and I'm thinking of chocolate with some vanilla, that type of thing.
Yeah. So being a DJ your whole life, so Tom, what song do they play when they go and cut the cake?
Oh, cut the cake.
Cut the cake. Cut the cake.
Pick up the pieces.
Right.
Yeah, average white band. Pick up the pieces.
Do brides and grooms still smash cake in each other's faces? Is that still a thing?
No. Get this now. So half the brides I booked for this coming up season, right? Yeah. They don't even do the cake ceremony anymore.
Wow.
They don't want it. Don't spotlight us. I said, who would you like to spot on your wedding day?
So what do they replace it with, the chicken dance? What are they? So stupid.
It's so silly. I think because their big thing is they want to get right into the party. That's the argument.
And they think it's either or.
Right. They think it's an either or, and it's not. But who am I to argue? What do I know after 41 years?
I've been to some shows. You know a lot, Tom.
It's something else. Hey, we got a great show for you. Nicole McQuaid's up. She's the HR manager at Clinton's Ditch. And then Bernadette Tripp, the senior home care from senior home care and Alzheimer's Solutions. But Bernadette does something special.
Yeah, she does.
She's like the educator of sorts.
Yes. We'll find out now.
We'll find out, yes. Matt Major is the founder of Growth Mode Technologies. We'll have an interesting conversation with him. Neil Carr, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. Jordan Gentile is the Corporate Director of Comfort Windows and Doors. He'll be here to talk about his family. And then George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting, and Natasha Schmidt, the co-owner of Rubberstone, New York, will also be here, all on The Local Show. Nicole McQuaid, HR Manager at Clinton's Ditch, the Pepsi Place. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you today?
Very good. Haven't seen you in a little bit. I always say, where's Nicole? Steve says, I don't want her on.
Yeah, I send everybody else now. It's like a thing.
It's like, who's that? Yeah. They're from Pepsi. Okay.
What's happening at the Pepsi Place these days?
We have all kinds of exciting things going on.
Very good. Yeah. And you're in charge of everything, right? What exactly do you do there?
So I basically am in charge of the hiring, employee relations, all that good stuff, and everything else that's the catch-all for HR.
Do you feel that people sometimes befriend you because of your position? Do you get a lot of that and feel like people are insincere?
Great question. I want to hear the answer to this one.
Yes and no. It's kind of just a fine line to walk when you're in HR.
Yeah.
Because you got to be fair and consistent, right?
That's
and
too bad.
People try to they want to be your favorites, right? And there's sometimes that you really do like certain employees. Like,
sure.
It's hard, but you always have to maintain that fair, but consistent.
She lives in a gated community. So that protects things.
Yeah.
Right near Green Hills.
Like in your office, do you have like boxes of candy and roses and everything, and you got to keep pushing them aside? Put that present over there.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely
so
not.
how does someone impress the HR person, or shouldn't they even try?
No, I mean, you should always be friendly, right? I always say less is more. Like when we talk about employees, if I don't see you, that's fantastic.
What about
Best
hiring?
employee ever.
You're not going to hire me if you don't know who I am.
Well, once you're hired, she's saying.
Yeah,
But what about like getting in?
So that is something we are really battling with. People are overly aggressive with trying to get in and
really?
getting hired. Like they call nonstop, and like
Really?
you'll send the email like, hey, we received your stuff,
Sure.
and they will like show up. Like you'll call and do a phone screen, and then people are knocking on your door like, hey,
goodness.
you called me. No, we're doing a phone
But to
interview.
me, that's saying there's some energy there, and they really want it, as opposed to, well, they filled an application.
Well,
Yeah, but it's a dance.
It's a fine line.
Yeah, it's a dance.
Okay.
Like there's like, you can do like one phone call, but like when you call 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And then like when somebody tries to have a conversation with you, you start yelling and screaming at like the HR generalist. That's not a good look either.
No, yeah. No kidding.
So it's like, I'm going to write a book one day about all of this.
Well, 300 plus employees, there's a lot of moving parts. Who are you looking for now?
So right now we are getting ready. You guys were just talking about spring. We're looking at summer. We're looking to hire summer help. So those kids that are 18 years older, that are going to college, looking for a summer job, or they're graduating high school, not really sure what they want to do. We hire summer help. It's a full time, so it's 40 hours. That means every day.
Right.
And they show up. They're the janitor, mopping, sweeping, pulling trash, doing line watch. We were able to increase our wage to $19 an hour this year
For summer help.
For
Good
summer help.
Golly, that's pretty good. Do they get benefits when they're doing that job?
They do not get benefits when
Yeah, I
they're
was going
summer
to say,
help.
why would
Yeah,
you
they're
do
getting
that?
19 bucks an hour, Tom. That's a pretty
plus
big
shift diff.
Right.
Plus shift diff, so
Well, I was
they can
gonna-
make like 20 on
Oh,
a
okay.
certain
What
shifts.
is a shift differential? I'm not used to that kind of work.
So,
or any work.
yeah,
for that
second
matter.
shift they get a full $1, so they make $20 an hour, and then third shift it's 75 cents, so it's
I get you.
$19.75.
Okay, that's a different shift difference.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So summer help. Who else? What else are you looking for?
CDLA drivers, we've grown a lot. We've got a lot of movement going on, and we've had retirements, so we're looking for some CDLA.
People stick around as the drivers. I mean,
Yes, our drivers is a very unique group of guys. They're fantastic. They're real go-getters. They stay.
Why do they stay?
Steve Irwin. I mean, end of the day, it's because of Steve Irwin. He's fantastic. He's our transportation manager. Him, Dan Tinker, Jim Hellinger, they do a great job with our driving group. And, they...
Now,
they
you
just
say
love-
guys. Is it that women don't pursue
Usually
that?
not, but we will take women CDLA
Sure.
drivers. I mean, it's hard to find them, but yeah, we would be willing to take them.
The reason why I ask is it's interesting. A gal that my wife worked with over at the bank, she quit banking and always wanted to be a truck driver. I mean, she's like over 40 or something. And then she went and got her CDLA, and she drives now and loves it.
Well, there is an independence that people have, and especially if you're working with someone like Steve. Steve's just I love.
Yeah,
remember
he's a good-
Steve's
oh, yeah,
line?
we've been
He's
on him.
like, he's like, trucks have a number, our drivers have a name.
Yep.
I think
Yeah,
that should be
he
written
really
down somewhere.
cares.
I thought that was fabulous.
Yes.
But he believes it.
Yeah, he does, and he lives it. He treats his guys great, and I think if you were to talk to some of our drivers, they would,
Right.
agree with how Steve treats.
And
his
you could
guys.
be home on the nights and the weekends.
Correct.
Right?
Where we work right now we work 5 days a week, and we work second and third shift. But yeah, you can be home on the weekend.
And you don't have to have your own truck. You got the
Nope.
trucks up there.
It's a company truck, so it's not like you have to bring your own truck. You just need a CDLA and 2 to 3 years of tractor trailer.
Tom has a
experience.
truck.
I do.
Not that kind of
Not that guy. Different guy. Did you get the maintenance mechanic and the fleet mechanic and all that? Because that was
No,
important.
we struggle. We struggle
golly.
like everybody in Syracuse,
That's
right?
got to be a pretty good paying job because it's very specialized.
$32 an hour
Yeah.
for maintenance. It's the off shifts, but it's a good gig with our benefits.
Yeah. And thepepsiplace.com, everything that we talked about is on there.
Yes, correct.
So they can apply right through the Pepsi Place. It's
Yes.
Clinton's Ditch, but
Yeah.
Tom,
and you don't have to bring candy. You don't have to
No,
bring
please.
roses. Just your
But
intelligence
if
and
you
your
got
experience.
some blueberry muffins from Green Hills Farms, you might get her attention. I'm just saying.
and a loaf of Italian bread, and you're all set.
Yeah,
Okay.
Columbus Bakery though. You got to go to Columbus Bakery for the Italian bread. Sorry.
I agree with that. That's Nicole McQuaid right there. Thank you so much for being here and all you do up there.
Yep. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. HR manager at Clinton's Ditch, the Pepsi Place, thepepsiplace.com. Coming up next, stick around. We're going to talk with Bernadette Tripp. She's one of the educators over there for senior home care and Alzheimer's solutions. We'll find out all about what she does. Coming up next on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome into the early spring edition of The Local Show. Yeah,
you're thinking of me.
Yeah.
You're always so nice to me.
It was interesting because I had kind of put away all the big wintry stuff midweek, and then we got the snow.
And with more coming, and now
we're back into winter.
March is that mixy month.
It really is. You just never know.
It's kind of like November.
And as much as they say things have changed, and they can pull up this stat and that stat, it really is. What do they say in England? It's poppycock, because it isn't. I've been on this earth now, coming up to my birthday, for 59 years, and I can remember every single year around my birthday, my parents would get me a bike. So we get that spring bike, and I would be outside riding the bike, in March, and then all of a sudden it would snow. Then you couldn't ride the bike,
exactly,
and then it would clear up the next week, and then you'd be back on the bike. So I remember that pattern forever.
Yeah, that's why they call it weather.
Yeah,
that's why there's always been a weatherman going, I don't know, trying to tell you what's going to happen.
We just never know what's going to happen in March. I think of many St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah,
that's
parades just standing there in the cold with the wind just whipping and the snow dropping.
We had Janet Higgins on, and I said, boy, the weather's been great. It's all waiting for the parade. then we'll get the ice storm.
Exactly.
All right, Steve, tell us a little bit about Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. People are they're buying houses. They're not buying houses. They're remodeling. It's up and down.
It is that spring market, that spring thing.
Yeah.
And Brad works right here on the Zoey Local Show team.
Mm-hmm.
He is just finishing off the process. He'll be closing here within a month or so, and went through the process with Gettys.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him the other day, and he said, they made it easy. And he was funny. He goes, I kept calling because I had questions. So I kept calling Chrissy, but they didn't make me feel bad. Because,
sure.
I don't buy a house every day.
First time. Yeah, that was his first time.
And then he said something. He said, the rates were actually lower than I thought they would be.
Yeah.
But he's a first-time home buyer, so they have these special incentives and things.
Right.
And he's boyish on a normal day. He was just excited and all smiley. But if it's time to get a mortgage, certainly, don't go far away. Don't pay PMI, those extra insurances.
Yep.
Get it at Gettys Federal Savings and Loan.com, Tom.
There you go. Now it's our pleasure to bring on Bernadette Tripp from Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. She's been on before. You can see everything about Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions at SyracuseSenior.com. SyracuseSenior.com. How are you, Bernadette?
Good.
What do you do over there? What do you do?
Oh, a little bit of everything. When people call in and they need the support, our caregivers to come into the home. So I'll do that initial intake where I'll go out to the home and kind of assess, what type of care are they looking for?
I see.
What are their needs and how we can better support them. In addition to that, I am a certified TPA-SNO dementia specialist.
Okay.
So as part of my job, because Senior Home Care Solutions does specialize in dementia care, I will train the staff. And what we have found is that, people really needed dementia support outside. They needed it in the levels of occupational therapy, physical therapy, family members who have loved ones that have dementia. Sure. What do we do? Mom is starting to have this behavior. Dad is going outside without wearing a jacket, or dad is outside, he's walking down the street and not realizing, that he has to look left and right, and how to better support them with those situations, because they still need to do the things they did before. It's just that part of the brain that makes them think before they react is being affected. So my job with Senior Home Care Solutions is, dementia education, teaching them all about different strategies and approaching them.
Is this just family or is this healthcare providers or who are you training?
Both. We actually do support the families as well as we've been pushing into some of the local colleges around the area that may have the occupational students that need to know more about the disease, or physical therapists who are working with them one-on-one and don't really understand that our approach makes a big difference. I'll give you an example of that. Maybe standing directly in front of them when they are trying to do their therapy is very confrontational because of the limitations that they have. When you stand directly in front of them, it's kind of trapping them and they don't see a way out. So just turning your body to the side is what we call supportive stance. And that makes a huge difference, initially.
Yeah. So there's like a hotline or there's a call once a week. What is that?
Our support group that is held every Tuesday from 9 to 10, the last Tuesday of the month, it goes from 2 to 3. And we started that really because of COVID, because they didn't have a place to actually meet. And this really is for anyone that is caring for somebody that has dementia, whether on a professional level or, parents or neighbors, whatever the case may be. And it runs for about an hour, and it's a great place for them to just kind of vent and talk and get education about, hey, mom is really struggling this week with some of the things that she's doing.
So it's like a group call.
It's a support group.
Okay, how do people sign up for that?
They could just go to our website at SyracuseSenior.com, and there's a link so they can join it. And you don't need to let us know that you're coming.
And there's no fee for it?
There's no fee. It's free of charge.
Nice.
So we
Okay.
just let them in, which is wonderful. We have a very supportive group of people. Even people that have lost their loved ones have come back on because it's made such a huge difference,
Nice.
to have other people that are kind of going through
Sure.
that same thing.
What did you do before this? Do you have a medical background or
I've been with Sheila with Senior Home Care Solutions for 10 years. Prior to that, I actually did personal lines of insurance. So I was a claims adjuster. But my dad actually passed away from a stroke. And prior to that, he was having some cognitive changes.
Yeah.
And after that happened, I just decided, this is not really what I want to do anymore. I want to give back. I love being around seniors and making a difference in their life. Nice. So I kind of turned the corner, and I've been doing it for 10 years. So a lot of hands-on experience. Everybody in our office really has been in the field doing the work, which makes a big difference.
So things are a little better, COVID on the decline rather than the rise. So people have been feeling good. You've been getting kind of back to normal.
Yeah, I would say, there's your ups and downs this time of year with the weather.
Sure.
People are just dealing with other things. But for the most part, we've been in the homes even through COVID.
Sure,
we didn't have the opportunity to not show up. We really had to be there. But yeah, I would say that for the most part, we're very busy.
Yeah,
we're super busy.
And I know Cheryl had mentioned this before, just to be clear, you don't have to have dementia for your services.
No,
like
we
half
don't.
of your folks, as people get older, they want to stay in their homes. Your support, not medical, but they don't have to have dementia. Everybody has some memory loss as they get older. We learned about that, Tom.
Yeah.
Is that your name, Tom?
Yeah,
Tom, we learned about that. But there's some as we get older, that's natural.
That is very true. We help all seniors. Anybody that is aging, we are supporting them on all
So that's SyracuseSenior.com. The info is there. And if they want to call 469-1000, sounds like a radio number.
Yeah,
469-1000.
That's right.
They can get some information and have a conversation.
Absolutely. We have a wonderful group in the office that can answer any question.
Super.
Excellent. That's Bernadette Tripp right there from Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, guys.
You're so very well spoken. Well, you should co-host with me.
Oh,
that
geez,
would-
let's not go that far.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Matt Major. He's the founder of of Growth Mode Technologies. We'll find out all about his business on the local show on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM and on YouTube.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it again. You found The Local Show, your little golden nugget of talk radio on the weekends. We talk about interesting things going on around town. Businesses coming in, businesses going out, businesses who've been here for a long time. And speaking of a long time, Steve's been around for a while. And,
yeah, but I'm not having a birthday soon, Tom.
No, I've got that birthday coming up. 59.
Yeah, that makes you only a year apart from me.
And, now I can break the news to you that, when I'm 59 and a half, I'm going to start drawing from my millions of dollars.
Have you started to get those statements? Have you Social Security statements?
Yes, yeah.
They get them once a year. And
Kelly looks at that.
And you look and you go, really?
No kidding. Yeah. That's something else.
And if you wait until you're 100, you can get more money every month than if you take it when you're 62 and 5 and 7.
All
and
that.
well, full Social Security is 67 for guys our age. It's not 65. So to get full, 67.
Yeah. So I had a little present for you. You weren't here. I got your boat show tickets. They're right here.
Look at that. How about that?
The boat show is done now.
Yeah, it's great, Tom. You're thinking of me.
But I noticed I left them here on the counter.
That means a lot to me.
Yeah, that is something.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you about the gym in the next segment because I don't want to keep Matt waiting too long. It's our pleasure to talk with Matt Major. He is the founder of Growth Mode Technologies, growthmodetech.com. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I enjoyed our conversation the last time. Of course, Steve doesn't know what we're talking about. It's like we could be talking Boolean algebra. He wouldn't know.
That's the genius when you have people that know technology and things. I'm good that I don't know. Actually, I don't want to know. I want someone else to solve that problem so I can go fishing, Tom.
Steve embodies ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, when it comes to things, I don't want to fix them. I break them.
I mean, that's why we exist. We're here to be your partner. So you do what you're good at, and we'll worry about the buttons and the knobs.
Yeah, your hat you're wearing for YouTube viewers here says local IT department. Tell me what that means.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what we say typically when we say the name of the company, Growth Mode Technologies. We say we're your local IT department because that's really in the gist of what we do. We are folks looking to serve local businesses specifically and be their, not just IT department, but really more their IT partner. So we come in and anything technical really with a business, we like to be a part of. Nice. and with the goal of moving the business forward, not just fixing a printer or something like that.
And these days, IT has become more inclusive to all kinds of technologies. So explain all the technologies that you embody and help with.
Oh, it's ridiculous, really, because like you say, things are getting everywhere. It used to be just kind of what you call office technology, right?
Yeah,
your computer, then it became your desk phone, your network, your cameras, security cameras, things of that nature. But
getting
now,
people off a mainframe.
Yeah, exactly. But now we have all these cloud services and these devices they call IoT devices. Yeah. It's internet connected little things that we have in manufacturing in different places that are sensors or they're data collectors or they're time clocks for people to punch in and things of that nature. That just all kinds of crazy connected technology that you find all throughout a business now, a lot more than just at the desk.
Yeah, like you'll send something, I send it to the copier. Right, from my iPad.
Right.
So then I walk up the hall. Why isn't it here yet? How did it? I'm 50 feet away. Where'd it go? But there's so many things.
Well, just look at when we've done remote recording. Getting people that buy Bluetooth headphones.
Sure.
They can't connect the Bluetooth headphones to the laptop, or maybe they have a Bluetooth speaker and somebody wants to hear that, and a USB mic, and where does that go, and all that. So you take care of that.
There's so many different ways to do all of that. It's just, that's what's wild.
I got a question for you. So can you recover data off of an old hard drive?
Sometimes.
Spinning hard drive.
Yeah, sometimes. So what we can do in our shop is honestly pretty basic in terms of data recovery, but we got a lot of tools that if things aren't too far gone, we can get it
Yeah, this has all the data on it.
Okay.
What had happened
Do you
was...
have a friend that has one, Tom?
Yes, I'm asking for a friend. It's actually, where we have some high-end computers at the house that I use for my studio, and then my son has a beautiful Alienware, but we upgraded it. But when we opened the case up, it kind of took the old hard drive before we went to the new SSDs, and it broke the connector, so some of the pins are broken.
Yeah, so for something like that, there's a good chance we could just repair that enough to get
it plugged
your data
in.
off it.
Okay.
I was going to say, if it's real serious, there's big corporate things where they've had, one laptop has all the data the company needs for anything, and it gets destroyed. There are companies that we partner with that we can actually send things out. They have clean rooms, and they can recover anything from anything. It's
when
wild.
trying to eradicate data, do you model the Hillary Clinton model? So you just take it, you smash it, and you scrub it, and then you smash all the phones up, and then all the data. Is that the best way to do it?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because it sort of is, and that's one of the things. Data destruction is one of the things that we do for a lot of people, because this isn't important whether you got a cell phone, an old copier that has a hard drive in it, or your computer. There's data that needs to be destroyed. That's something we do, and there are actually government standards to how you grind it up properly, so it can't be recovered.
Those standards?
I couldn't tell you in her case.
I'm asking for a friend. Tom.
That is wonderful. Yeah, so your services also include phone services.
Absolutely.
And explain to us how phones have changed over the years.
Yeah, it's everything's on the internet now, including your phone service. And what's interesting is I was telling people recently, even if you have, like, say, Spectrum or something like that, they've got your home phone service, and it may still plug into that traditional phone jack. But the second it leaves your house, it's what's called VoIP. It's internet phone service immediately. That's where everything goes, even if you don't realize it. So this is kind of, again, put this technology, it's on computer networks, it's in our world now, and we offer the full phone service along with phone systems that businesses would use, but goes a lot farther than just telephone calls nowadays.
VoIP, that's what you just, right? So why would someone use an outsource organization like yours as opposed to hiring some IT guys? Because a lot of companies I'll ask my IT guy, and some guy comes up the hall, it's got a brown and a black shoe, and he's, well, and he's good at it, and he does it.
Yeah.
Stereotypical, Steve. Golly.
Am I wrong, Matt?
No, not at all.
Okay, just checking.
In terms of not just the phone, but everything, we offer an advantage over the traditional employee situation, because usually an organization, depending on the size, has that just one person, and that's great. They might be the best tech in the world, but they also deserve a vacation or to potentially get sick. Right. Where we show up, and for approximately the same cost, we bring an entire team. So no matter what, you're covered. And we can bring a wide variety of skills and
so that dude doesn't like you. You show up, he's nervous.
Not necessarily, because in many cases we can support him. We work with a lot of places that have those, and we become his backup. So
that's a good
then
thing.
The one man becomes an army for the organization. Yep.
And then you guys are always learning, because you say you have a team, so you got to keep up on all the latest technologies. Let's talk a little bit briefly about AI. And the one website that I use that I find very useful is Future Tools. FutureTools.ai or futuretools.com.
I think that's,
Yeah, and it's got all of the different types of technologies, and I'm experimenting with everything from, stable diffusion to AI voices and all that kind of stuff. So how much do you think that AI is going to play a role in what you do?
It's huge. It is, it's just the next level of technology. And people have been talking about it for a while, but for many years it was just sort of a buzzword, and their AI was really just a complicated program that had a lot of, pre-programmed responses. Today we have legitimate AI, things that can sort of think, I'm air quoting here, for themselves. But it's revolutionary. I mean, we're already using it in our business quite a bit, and looking to expand that even further to help support people and do all kinds of things.
So, Tom, just briefly, I went on the other day and I said, in Tom Soccocio's voice, I want to hear Steve Roberts is a great guy. Write a paragraph. It was amazing. You sounded great. You were very flattering of me, Tom.
That's ever going to happen. Matt, great job. I'm going to bring that hard drive over to you.
Yeah.
And, see, my son
we'll get that
was
working.
bummed out. Yeah, he just got to get the stuff off profit. And then do you have a comprehensive article on how to optimize Windows 11 for audio and video? I mean, there's tons of stuff out there.
Yeah.
But I really want the nuts and the open.
I personally don't have one that specific, but I'm sure such a thing exists.
Yeah, it exists out there. All right. I love talking with you. So that's Matt Major right there. He's the founder of Growth Mode Technologies, growthmodetech.com. Don't be left behind. Get them on your team so that you can actually get into the future and see how you can make more revenue that way.
That's where it's at.
Matt, have a great rest of the day, okay?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Neil Carr is coming up next, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR. Check us out on YouTube as well during the breaks. Coming right back.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You found The Local Show with Tom and Steve, two of your favorite people on the weekends to spend some time with and listen to us chat it up.
A lot of assumptions there, Tom.
Chat it up. Yeah, of course.
Tom, you seem to be transforming into Jack LaLanne, and listeners may be old enough to remember who that is. What's going on over there?
Isn't that funny? I used Jack LaLanne as an example to my son the other day, and he has no idea what I'm talking about. I have to look up on YouTube to see if there's any Jack LaLanne videos.
Right.
But remember him on all the variety shows?
Yeah.
He'd be on Johnny Carson, Mike Douglas.
Yeah. You know, he was kind of like Perry Noun with exercise. Yeah. Perry Noun, folks, does the golf show. Right, and you know, he's just got a lot of energy and a lot of passion, and you can do it.
And he'd be wearing that unitard.
Yeah. It's so true.
Oh, man, but he would get down there and do those push-ups.
So what are you doing? What's going on?
Well, you know, I had to get back to the gym because, well, the doctor said, hey, look, you're not doing too bad, but you're going to die if you keep putting on this weight.
Okay, well, so...
Yeah, you're 375 pounds on the low side, and we got to get you down. You have to at
He's
least...
lying, folks. He's more than that. No kidding.
You have to at least lose 200 pounds. And, you know, well, so I went back to the gym and you know, it's been good. And this I can say, you know, my father, who's 81 and an avid fitness buff, he had said to me, Tommy, all of your pains and all these things that you're worried about and calling me about and whining and complaining, it will go away if you go to the gym. And I said, well, how am I going to get rid of Steve by going to the gym? And he said, really, all those joints and things will feel better. I didn't believe him. I thought, I'm too far gone. There's no way. I went back to the gym after a week, after just 7 days. And I'm not doing anything crazy.
The old man was right?
He was totally right.
How about that?
I'm going up and down the steps and thinking, wait a second, where'd all that pain go? Where did this go? The swelling in my calves and the feet and everything, gone. You know, I still wear the compression socks because it's a fashion statement.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you know.
When I exercise, and Judy was just like, we got to start walking again. And I don't like walking in the cold, right? But and I said, yeah, I do better. I lose weight because I eat better. Because I'm thinking, if I'm doing this exercise, the last thing I'm going to do is eat this whole bag of chips. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing.
And I should tell people, you know, diet's the other part of it. It's like,
I
don't
big part of it.
Eat very clean, and so does my wife.
Yeah, pass the cookies.
But folks, if you're even hesitating a little bit, don't get yourself a trainer if you're not comfortable in the gym or whatever, and go to a place because you know what? There's inspiration. I found this out. 50% of the people there are older than me.
See?
And they're doing a great job.
Well, I hate to say this, but you look better.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know if it'll do anything for my attitude, but I'm working on that too.
You know, I'm happy if you're healthier.
I'm reading books, and Tony Robbins is living with me now, so anything to get me going. Hey, it's our pleasure right now to bring back Neil Carr on the show, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. How are you, Neil?
Doing well, guys. Thanks.
It's great to have you along.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, winter's over, right?
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
The HVAC guru. I'll tell you what, you guys do such a fantastic job. How has your emergency service been? I'm going to think that you probably didn't have a lot of emergency stuff this year.
Occasionally. Yeah. We had some weekend work and after hours stuff. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it was, we weren't slammed with it all year, but we had a fair share.
But to some extent, are those folks that weren't your customers before?
That we're not.
Right.
A lot of it's new stuff. Some of it is existing customers, but a lot of newer customers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because it's been rather mild. People didn't call up in a tizzy.
Overall, I think service is probably a little slower.
First 3 weeks when it gets cold, isn't that just like insane? Because people took the furnace on and I mean, that's got to be.
Yeah, you get that. Yep, but then you get the warm spells and they shut them off, and then when it gets cold again, they turn it back off. Then you're right back in it. So
yeah. So this year, do you feel that people are going to have to start taking their old units and going to these new heat pumps or what have? And why don't you explain to people what a heat pump is and why the government keeps pushing it at this point?
It's an all electric unit.
Okay.
And they have water source heat pumps, air source heat pumps. Air source heat pumps are the most common ones. Basically, it's using either the heat or it's using the air temperature to help the system run. So it's pulling heat out of the air, or for AC, it's pulling cooler air, pulling that cooler out of the air.
So it does both? It does AC and...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the same system that does both. Yep.
So if you had one of these heat pumps, you wouldn't need to get a central air conditioner?
Right, the heat pump is the air conditioner.
Good golly.
The unit outside is basically, it's this. They're very similar looking to an AC condenser, certain models.
Any disadvantages?
Just like any other. I mean, I don't know about certain disadvantages. Right. Yeah, I don't know specifically on that.
Nothing bad.
No, it's not like you do this. I mean, they're all electric, so you lose your power.
Okay, so you use
just like anything else. Yeah, just like anything else.
Is it 220 or 110?
220. It's a specific question on it. Very important to know that.
Yeah,
it's 220. Yeah.
Is it true that most electricity is made from coal?
Yeah, right.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, gee, we're going to get calls, Tom.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Hochul will let us put in a new nuclear power plant. I guess she's all for that, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as it's powered by wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of wind, let's keep talking. So these heat pumps, this is very interesting, though, to me, because I didn't realize they did both. So as an outfit that helps people to maintain their current HVAC, right?
HVAC. You can't even spell
system, that. System. And who installs new, do you all of a sudden say to yourself, maybe we don't order as many central air conditioning units?
Well, I mean, we don't supply the equipment, so our distributors are handling all of that. So we're getting equipment from other places. Yeah, it's not like we don't have a warehouse full of systems.
But do you see in your mind and in your brother's mind, do you see it going, the other way?
100%. Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, they've been growing in this. They've been around forever.
Right. I gotcha. Right.
Europe. That's all they have in Europe.
Oh yeah. That's right.
So and then down south they use them a lot too. They're getting more popular in the Northeast as the technology gets better and they're able to run better in these climates. Sure. So that's why it's newer to some people up here. A lot of people, it's not.
And Tom, if you ever were in an airplane, and I know that's not going to probably happen,
and I have been,
and you fly in Asia, hot water tanks, they heat on the roof. So you'll fly and you'll see you'll see water being warmed on the roof to come down. That's how they do it.
Yeah,
they use the sun to do that.
That's got to be
like, what is that? And that's where the hot water tank is. So I guess if it breaks, you might get a little wet, but that's where all that happens.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean they've been around for a while, but yeah, it's definitely the technology has gotten a lot better and it's getting more popular in this area. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
And so that would negate this 90% efficient furnaces and things like that. Those would go away?
Well, I mean, you always have those. I mean, unless they don't let you use natural gas anymore.
Well, that's what I think. That's where Tom's going to some extent. They keep telling you, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that.
They're pushing heat pumps, yes.
And
that's what they want.
And the consumers are the end of the food chain on that.
Right, thinking to themselves, what do we do? You know, I have this old thing and... it's got to be confusing for everybody.
But you guys are still getting, every time I look online, you're still getting lots of great reviews. People like you. What is it? Your brother or you? Who do they like more?
It's a flip of a coin.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think. But no, we're it's been good. We're getting ready for the home show coming up here in a couple of weeks at the fair. So
that's great.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yep. So people have a conversation to have a chance to have a personal conversation.
Yeah, they can meet you.
My situation.
Right. Well, now that you're on the local show, you're a star, so you're going to have.
we'll print out those pictures of Neil, and you can sign them at the table.
No, my neighbor's son was impressed. I was on YouTube, so.
Oh, okay.
That's
making me
nice.
famous
Are
out
they
here.
easily impressed?
Yeah.
Okay.
10-year-old kids are usually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But,
Well, that's good. Hey,
Yeah.
Neil, thank you so much for the information. And if you need emergency service, of course, call Prime Heating and Air. But then if you just want to talk about these new heat pumps and various other products, you've got it all.
absolutely, you got it.
So, all right. Thank you, Neil. Have a great rest of the day, okay?
You too. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Coming up in hour number 2, we're going to have a conversation with Jordan Gentili. He's the corporate director of Comfort Windows and Doors. And then we'll talk with George Powers from Powers Accounting and Natasha Schmidt, co-owner of Rubberstone, New York, all in hour number 2. And that starts really soon. Stick around.
It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for some engaging interviews with Jordan Gentili, corporate director of Comfort Windows and Doors. George Powers will stop by. He's the owner of Powers Accounting. And then we have Natasha Schmidt, who is the co-owner of Rubberstone, New York. She'll be on the show to talk about, they got a new product, Steve, that is exciting too. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. And of course, we're on YouTube if you want to see things.
And see you.
See me.
Your new Jack LaLanne bod.
Not quite.
Okay.
Hey, another 50 pounds, I'll be good to go. No, that's going to take a little bit. But now it's my pleasure to bring somebody new to the show, but not new to my life. It's Jordan Gentili. He's the corporate director of Comfort Windows and Doors. Jordan is the oldest of the Gentili family and now running the whole shebang. How are you, Jordan?
I'm doing great. Just want to thank you for having me, Tom and Steve. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
Big fans, of course, Tom.
Oh,
Big
that's
fans.
good. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jordan, I think the last time I saw him was around 11, 12 years old. Now he's the ripe old age of 30. It's been a long time. I joined the team over there in 2004. So that, how old were you in 2004?
Ooh, that would put me at about 11 years old.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
So way back then.
Yeah, Tom, you can't do math. How dare you make someone else do math?
Well,
like
he's
that?
good at math.
Yeah. If I say, what's 5 and 7, Tom's like,
Jordan, I'm going to have you tell your story because I could go into me and your father's stories forever. So you tell your story and how you got into this business.
Great question. So obviously I grew up in it, Tom, right?
Yeah.
Sitting in the long car rides with Dad as he's on the phone, chatting with you, of course,
Yeah, right.
chatting with everyone and, the powers to be. And, it's an amazing industry. And a lot of people, they don't think of the home improvement industry as a really fun place to work, fun place to be, but it is.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of culture, a lot of product development, research, technical applications, physics,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, contracting is hard in itself. Building something out of nothing is
Right.
a very unique thing, and a lot of people, they like working with their hands.
Sure.
And of course, I wish there was more people working with their hands.
people like working with their hands, Tom?
Yeah, so not Steve, of course. We keep Steve away from tools or anything sharp.
I break things.
Steve, a big part of why we're in business is people like you.
Yeah, right.
People do like me.
People do like you.
People do like me.
And,
Keep telling me.
People like comfort because we don't have to make you do the work.
Yeah.
And that's something that we obviously take a lot of pride in. And let's face it, there's a lot of people that are growing up in the new generation that never picked up a hammer.
You're so right. Yeah, guys, you're around your age don't have the skills that people, my age used to have.
Did you have a choice to go in the family business?
He did.
I
yeah.
graduated from Ithaca College.
Yeah,
right?
great
And
prestigious school.
It's a good prestigious school, yeah. I had a business degree, and I actually moved out to Boston.
Okay.
I worked in the private
Right.
equity wealth management industry for a couple years, 3-4 years.
Wow.
And quite frankly, my dad's a very good salesman.
Right.
So he said, Jordan, we're at a fork in the road, right? There was no fork. So
He brought the fork, and it was over dinner.
Yeah, the fork was a dinner steak, right?
Yes.
Of course, I like food. Who doesn't? And hey, Jordan, time to go, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to do this for the rest of your life? Or do you want to come help me and grow this and make this your baby moving forward?
Wow.
And he sold me. And I'm so
when was
grateful.
this? How long ago was that?
This was 8 years ago.
Okay.
All right, so I've been in
a
my
while.
position for about 8 years.
Yeah. That's
Right?
fantastic.
And-
the one thing that your father has always done, and where Comfort really excels, is customer service. Man, they just bend over backwards. When we used to do testimonial stuff, back in the day, the people would just glow over the fact that they had Comfort windows, whether it was a simple door thing, or just a couple of windows replaced, or a full sunroom. People would just glow about how great the service was. And if any little thing was out of line, Comfort was there to fix it.
And that's our model, right?
Yeah.
That's our motto.
Yeah.
That's where, Billy Putzer, Fritz Gentili, the owners of the company, that's
Yeah.
their mission statement. That's what they wanted to do since 1979.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Now what's happening in 2023, which is a really cool thing, and we start to advertise this and put this on social media because this is the cool stuff, is we're servicing people's windows with no charge, no service because it's under warranty from 1987.
Isn't that
1989.
incredible? Yeah.
We have people that are like, wait, I'm getting 10 new glass packs for my replacement windows from 1987? Yes, you are. We'll be there next week.
Wow.
That's
and they
incredible.
can't
That goes to
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
you guys know this, word of mouth is the best
really is.
lead source. It's the strongest.
Well, brand
lead
is a
source.
claim of distinction in the space.
absolutely.
There are lots of people sell windows and doors and are in that space, but what's different?
And what's different
you know.
is we don't sell a window or door. We sell a service. We sell a warranty to give you peace of mind,
Yeah.
right? Because you guys know the statistics. 95% of home improvement businesses go out of business in the first 3 years.
Sure.
Right.
98 within 10 years. Well, we're proven now at 44 44
That's
business.
incredible,
And
44
I'm ready for
years.
44 more.
So was
guys.
this the pitch
Right.
your dad used to get you back in?
Isn't it amazing that it worked?
Because it seems like you believe what you're saying.
Well, I really do
Absolutely.
believe what I'm saying. And, I got fed the Kool-Aid at a young age.
That's
and
right.
I'm trying to spread that Kool-Aid out there to get more people to believe in what we do.
But everybody who is on that team, feels the same way, and that's always been the mantra. Now, let's talk, because we're limited on time. But you started off. Your grandparents had the glass factory, and of course, I toured that many times. Is that still operational?
So believe it or
Do
not,
they sell or-
that is actually Comfort Manufacturing.
Okay.
So, something that I'd like to speak on for a few moments is we have so much experience, longevity, tenure with our employees. We have employees that have been there for 40 years,
Absolutely.
especially in the manufacturing facility.
Right.
So what happens is we have people that believe so much in the product that they're making that they come in every day wanting to make that product better. So
Sure.
Comfort Manufacturing over 40 years has developed a product only for upstate New York, and it's made by New Yorkers for New Yorkers.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And that's a really powerful story to us. We really tried, especially COVID, and no one wants to talk about this.
Tom talks about it all the
C
time.
word, right?
Tom can't say a sentence without talking about COVID.
Yeah, no one wants to hear it anymore. But the,
Thank
the
you.
thing from the C word, I'll keep it at the C
Yeah.
word, is we were very well protected because we focus on supplying all of our parts and pieces from local suppliers.
right.
So when all these supply issues were coming up, of course we felt some of the pain,
Right.
but we focused at a young, early infancy stage of our factory to say, you know what, it might cost a little bit more now, but we're going to buy local stuff and protect our local businesses. And if we protect them, they will protect us. And it's helped.
Local. So
local.
you started with the windows and the doors and everything, but now the product line has really expanded. Tell everybody what else you do.
Oh, we do everything. The easiest way to put this, Tom and Steve, is we do everything but kitchens and floors.
Gotcha.
And that's everything, right?
Yeah.
And something that we're very proud of that we're moving into as we continue our local push is actually our Comfort Showers and Baths division.
Okay.
We have a whole different division called Comfort Showers and Baths.
Nice.
All right. And it's obviously related to Comfort Windows, the great same people, the great warranty, all that good stuff. But we're actually engineering a product locally with some other help, DuPont, some other local big players, and we call it Comfort Stone. And
Oh,
we're really
really?
excited to announce Comfort Stone to the public.
No, and what's Comfort Stone going
Comfort
to be?
Stone, what it is it's actually a very well-known long-term product that I'm sure you guys have heard of called Corian.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Corian countertops, right? And
Sure.
what they do is they've engineered this product with us and making a program for the residential application.
Yeah.
Where we have crushed stone, different materials with Corian, and
Yeah.
it blends into a beautiful shower wall surround.
Nice.
So it gives you the look of stone.
Oh.
Obviously with 2/3 the price.
Right.
Yeah, wonderful. That's incredible. I could talk to you for forever. Maybe we'll have you on again if you don't mind.
I would love to.
And we could drag.
There'll be a whole segment on comfort stone, right?
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Sorry to go
I'm
off topic
excited
there, guys.
because I need some windows and some other stuff. So I got to rekindle my relationship and be nice to you.
Perfect.
I know a guy.
Yeah, right?
Fritz knows me too well. He'll charge me double. So I would go to Jordan. All right. Thank you so much, Jordan Gentili, right there, Corporate Director of Comfort Windows and Doors. Have a great rest of the day, okay?
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Steve.
Coming up next, George Powers, owner of Powers Accounting, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back on The Local Show, and that means you are too. Thanks for joining Steve and I, the talk show hostesses with the mostesses on the weekends here.
And the early spring edition.
The early spring edition, all set to go. You know, a while ago when we had that little bit of a thaw, it was just so lovely.
Yep.
You know, we went out there and bounced the basketball, threw a couple of baskets in with the boy, and I thought, this is so, you feel so energized when it's pretty outside.
You told me,
like that.
you got the bike, you were
when I was a kid,
and you would ride outside, and spring is here the next day, but it's just like, because we were always cooped up.
Yes.
In the winter,
Right.
we didn't take a vacation, we didn't.
Sure.
We were pretty much cooped up, and
but unfortunately, I think we both know March is that changeable month, no matter how you slice it, and it usually changes pretty rapidly around the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah. It's a bullseye,
and you think
it's green.
Yeah, it really is, and you think to yourself, "Boy, this is going to be fun. Let's all go." And we do plan on going, right? And then as soon as the day hits, and I see that icy rain coming down,
the people that go are very hardy.
Yes.
If your kid's in the band, you're going to go. If your mom's in the parade, you're going to go. And it's great. There's a lot of people that do that.
Yes.
But I would be a fair weather parade attender just because that's
I'm fair weather more so than anything. Anyway, so it's good to have George Powers back. George, how are you today?
I'm doing super great and getting better.
Excellent. George is the owner of Powers Accounting. You're not too busy now, are you?
Oh, not at all.
Nothing is really happening in the way of accounting
stuff.
Yeah, we're staying.
Is it
a bit busy?
Is it the calm before the storm, and it's not all that calm?
No, yeah, we're in the middle of a hurricane. It just hasn't. We're there.
People wait. They just wait a long time, don't they? And then
worse and worse. We were looking at our statistics for the last couple of years. And 2019, before COVID hit,
yes,
we were significantly further ahead in people bringing us stuff and getting things done.
Right.
And
they had nothing else to do. They were locked down.
Well, no, but that started in 20.
Oh, okay.
So what ended up happening, I think people changed their habits dramatically. Also because a lot of the companies that send information now do it all electronically. So people don't get it in the same way they used to. So things seem to be delayed. We still have a lot going on. It's very busy. March 15th is the due date for most partnerships and S corporations. So we have a lot of that going on. So it's right now.
S corps are due March 15th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just saying. I was asking for a friend.
Yep, coming fast. So we have a lot going on right now. It's a busy time. Sales tax are also due in March.
When do people usually get their W-2s?
They're legally supposed to be in the mail by January 31st.
Okay.
And so they're there then or before. 1099s are delayed. We don't even sometimes get those until mid-March, sometimes end of March, and they keep changing them. So the 1099s for people that do investments take longer, but most of everything else should be out by now.
Excellent. Okay, so tell us a little bit about Powers Accounting. There are so many people, it makes me cringe sometimes when I hear people say, Yeah, I got somebody who does my taxes. I got a tax person.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
What does that even mean?
I got a gal. And and then I think about what you do and the deep conversations we have about the system and how things are done. And I don't know how people can survive just having a guy or a girl.
Everybody's going to have their own needs. There's a lot of people that do their own taxes with software. If you've got a W-2 or 2, there's probably not a darn thing in the world wrong with that. Right. But what we do try to do that's different than some is we do try to have those conversations with clients. So if they owe taxes, why? What can they do about it? What can they take advantage of for tax deductions or changes or financial planning? We're not financial planners. We don't do investments, but we know enough about financial stuff to have conversations with our clients and what they should be thinking of. Right. Should they be doing their 401k? Should they be maxing out at least what the company will match? If they're a younger person, maybe they should be doing a Roth 401k portion of it. So we do try to have those conversations with our clients. If they make a lot of money, should they be doing a backdoor Roth?
Explain what a Roth is.
A Roth IRA is a type of IRA that you put money in now and get no tax deduction, but you let it sit in the Roth, and when you take it out, if you're over 59 and a half, you don't pay any taxes on the earnings. So the idea is you're postponing your tax advantages into a later point in time. But if you think about a person, let's say at 25 that puts $5,000 in, that $5,000 could easily be worth, let's say $25,000 when they go to retire. That means $20,000 of tax-free money. It really can be a slam dunk. They can be really an awesome thing to do.
So they're paying tax on the money when they. So they're paying tax now.
As it's going in.
Yes. But they're not paying tax when they take it out. A lot of people, the idea of retirement planning is a wonderful thing, and I'm not discounting it at all. But you think about, okay, you put the money in now. I'm saving taxes now, and we're going to build the taxes up, and we're going to take it out at a later point in time when theoretically I'm going to be making less money. Well, a lot of people are not making less money after 60. If they've saved for retirement, if they have a pension plan, things like that, they may not be making less. And by the way, Social Security benefits you receive many times are taxable. People don't think Social Security benefits are taxable.
And
they are.
And tax rates may go up.
Tax rates may go up. Right. So, and I'm not discounting retirement planning, and I'm not discounting taking 401k deductions right now, but it needs to be part of the overall consideration when you're doing these things. Should I be saving taxes now or saving taxes later? If you've got a couple kids, maybe you have daycare, things of that nature, you might have deductions right now that you won't be having later. Right. So maybe the time now is to put it into a Roth because you're in a lower tax bracket than you may be at a later point in time. Sure. These are things that people need to consider. Again, we're not financial planners. We throw these things at people, have them think about it. They either need to do it themselves or go to a financial planner. We're not licensed for that kind of thing. And they need to make those decisions. And, we never give advice on investments and what to invest in. We're much more the theoretical side.
So what should we invest in?
Steve.
Yourself.
Yeah, right. Invest in yourself. So let me ask you this. I have some kids that are all over the spectrum. I call them kids. They're young adults. So, but one of them is a kid. And they've asked me questions in the past because my daughters, who are like in their middle 20s, have realized that their paychecks are not what they think they're going to be, right? Because
why is FICA on my paycheck? Why does it take so much?
Yes, and I tried to have a conversation about where taxes go. Where does the tax money go? Where does it go in New York State? Why are?
That's a big discussion.
I'm not trying to be, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I didn't know how to answer it.
That's a big discussion. Now you get into what do they say? The first time a person gets their paycheck, they become a conservative.
Yes, that's very true. And my daughters are like that. They're like, I can't believe you guys do this too. And I said, of course we do it too. Everybody pays their taxes.
What's the real surprise is when you're in business and you have to write the check. Yeah. It becomes I got to write the check for this. It doesn't come out of your paycheck always. So where does it go for? That's a much larger question than I can
What
answer.
are the prime things that I can tell them
that they say, or there's a real answer?
That they say, yeah.
I've never looked at roads, bridges. There's some of it. Your police, your fire department.
We're up to 2%. Keep going.
That's right. This is a whole bigger discussion is where it goes. You have to see the budget, but
it goes all over.
Yeah. So
and some states are just more than others, and some don't charge anything. Like
one of the downsides of being in New York State is it costs a lot more to upkeep our roads and bridges because of the weather.
Yes.
It's just the reality of us living here. On the other hand, it's less utilities, less for water, things of that nature, and we don't have. hurricanes or tornadoes we have to rebuild for typically.
Sure.
So, there's a balance though.
All right. Well, can we keep you around for another segment? Because
Okay.
Tom likes you better than me. Let's be honest.
I'm happy to stay another segment if you want.
And I'd like to get into the conversation. I want to know what your opinion is about all this loan forgiveness. Will it help the economy or will it hurt the economy if we forgive?
And who will it make happy and who won't it, Tom?
Right. And I don't know the answer to that. But
you won't be happy because you're paying for it.
George Powers might be. Well, I do have girls who have loans, so it could be. It's a yin yang. It really is. So
no, it's not.
George Powers is with us, and he'll be back with us. Stick around. gpowers.com if you want to check out the website in the commercial break. We'll be back in a minute right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it again. You've got The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM. And of course, you can see us on YouTube and peek under the hood. See what's going on in the back room and all that. And it's funny when I watch some YouTube videos, and I've been looking at different things on YouTube. Mainly learning videos, right? I'm learning about AI. I learn about an editing software and this and that. And when people talk, you start to look at them as if they're the experts. But if you scratch your head for a minute and really look at this person, they're no more of an expert than you are.
Many of them are
maybe
just
less.
Right,
maybe less.
Some of them are just really good actors.
Yeah,
or actresses,
and they have a good presence. And I'm thinking, man, this person doesn't know what the heck they're doing. Really, I can't tell.
We get some questions in our office that people. I read this. I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube.
That's all fake.
Something's good. You don't know. And that's what it's become. But then I started to think in the Wayback Machine. What makes some of the people that were on the television experts? I don't know.
Yeah, the weathermen back in the day weren't like meteorologists.
No, they were just weathermen.
They were just weather people.
Weather
what they call it, right? And you had Stormy Meredith,
right?
Oh my God, I hadn't thought of that.
They weren't.
You see the thing, and the other. Then there was the cold front that was like a magnet stuck on the thing trying to cross.
That's funny. Thinking of that.
Low with an L for low and an H for I.
And then they went through a period where you really had to be a meteorologist, which is a scientist. And the problem with that was that some meteorologists were very good at what they did, but they had horrible camera presence.
Right, it was like talking to an accountant.
Right, so they'd rather put on a very attractive man or woman just telling you the cold front's coming. That's more fun. Anyway, we do have an expert with us, folks. You can always count on integrity and people who are really, really smart, with the exception of Steve, of course.
Thank you. You didn't let me down. I'm like, here it comes.
No, Steve is very good and really makes use of that 6th grade education he's got.
Absolutely.
George Powers.
Those were the best 3 years of my life, Tom.
Absolutely. George Powers is here. He's the owner of Powers Accounting, gpowers.com. And we were talking about what? So Biden is saying...
Yeah, you asked a dumb question.
Let's forgive all these loans. And I thought, is that good for the economy? Because now, on the receiving end, I have a couple of girls who have debt. We signed for them. We co-signed.
Right.
So if that gets forgiven, yay me!
Take advantage of it.
Right, take advantage of it. If it doesn't get forgiven,
so how is that fair for the kids that worked through school, that had a second job, the parents that sacrificed and worked the extra job, and then the other? No offense, the people that borrowed the money, they did. How is it that that's the one we should waive and forgive?
So when they forgive it, if they forgive it, how does that affect my taxes?
Well, they're going to have to go up. Someone's got to pay for it.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that have to go up.
That are connected
and I do think that it's a real problem that politicians want to solve with an easy fix. And that's usually the problem, is a lot of these problems are not solved easily. The price of college education has gotten way too expensive. Yeah. It's ridiculously expensive.
I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah. Now, why? Well, there's some theories out there that say by government intervention is what's created this extra tuition, and that you can get guaranteed student loans. Think about it. If you could if someone could come to your services and said, well, I can't afford it, well, government will give you a loan to pay for it. Right, you can charge whatever you wanted.
Hey, that'd be great for our business, wouldn't it?
We got the colleges. Yeah, we've given them tax-free deals.
Yeah.
You go the local colleges don't pay taxes,
right?
But they certainly. We got a racket. I mean, you have to pay $150 to apply to hopefully send them $60,000 or $70,000 a year for an education.
Sure.
And that's not the problem. But the problem is they have too much debt and they want to forgive it.
I'm with you on that argument. And
I got a kid that will benefit by it.
Sure.
And if they do it like you, I say take advantage of it.
Right, of course.
I don't think that's the real solution to the problem.
It's just not fair.
If you are a parent who co-signed for a loan or got the loan for your kid, does that mean you have to claim that as income if it gets forgiven?
It depends on what they do. If it's forgiven, it wouldn't be the parent, it would be the child that potentially would have to pay taxes on it. But a lot of times when they do that, they make it tax-free. Or I shouldn't say, they've never done it before. So I would assume they try to make it tax-free.
Right.
But we don't know. We have to wait to see.
When I get out of this show today, I'm going to be going to the RV show. Okay. And I'll be looking around, and of course, I'll be like giddy.
You can't write that off, Tom.
No.
Well, I'm wondering.
Sometimes you could.
If we did the show from his RV.
If there was a business purpose for the RV.
So if anybody gets an RV at this point, is there any advantages to it tax-wise or anything? Or,
Potentially. An RV can be a second home or a primary home that if you have interest on it, it needs to have basically a bathroom, a kitchen, and a toilet.
Oh my God. Yeah,
and a bed. It should be a bed, bathroom, kitchen. And that you can also have a yacht that would be a second home that could qualify for the interest that you would pay on that loan.
But there's a standard deduction that, and you'll know what it is, and I don't, that most people take anyway. So it used to be you would itemize, I bought some Band-Aids, and okay, there's $1.39, and you'd add it up and you'd be able to write things up. But that has really changed, hasn't it, George?
It's changed a lot. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act changed itemizing dramatically. What they did is they raised the standard deduction from what was about $12,000 to what is now about $27,000, $28,000, depending on how you're filing a married couple. Single, it's still closer to $13,000. So a single person is more likely to itemize the taxes than a married couple because you have interest, you have real estate taxes, things of that nature. But the interest on the RV would be part of your interest deduction potentially on a itemized Schedule A. So it could be, you could also itemize for New York State and not itemize for the federal level. So don't forget, if you're not itemizing for the federal, we got a lot of people that still itemize for the state,
but not for the federal. But the interest on the loan, not the RV, not the payment.
Not the payment, the interest.
Just the interest.
Just on your home, you don't get to deduct your home. You deduct the interest on your mortgage on your home that is secured with your home. First home, second home. So you get a couple of mortgages to deduct potentially.
So I don't own a home right now. We live in an apartment, which we enjoy. If I bought an RV, serious question. If it had a bed and a head to what you said,
it would be an itemizable deduction. Would you itemize? You'd have to have enough of a loan and charitable contributions to get you to that hurdle.
Right, but I'd have to pay an interest. Which so
is it a wise? We're not talking about a wise financial thing. We're talking about can you itemize? That's a different question entirely. But yes, if you bought an RV, most of them would qualify as a second home or a primary home, depending on that person.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but could I use it as an office to get away from Tom?
If there is a legitimate business purpose for an RV to be deductible, potentially
it would have
business.
to be legit.
And we have contractors will sometimes do that because they'll bring their people. They'll have there can be situations. Now, many people try to make an RV business when it's not. And you can't pass. If it can't pass a ha-ha test, you got an issue. But
well, the ones I'm looking at are going to have a bathroom and a kitchen and a maid. So the
maid. You got the maid too. Does that come with the RV?
Well, I told the wife. I said, we get an RV, and really, it saves you from like these massive vacations that you're taking spending. Well, because you can go all the time. Think about it. Like, say you wanted to shoot up to the Adirondacks.
It's not. I'm telling you, it's not cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to go to a hotel. The RV. And I was just thinking about RV. I was just changing channels the other night. And I saw that I watched it. It caught me that old Robin Williams.
RV,
RV,
right? Yeah.
The rolling turd. That was a funny. That was a funny movie.
That is,
it'd be fun though, Tom. Fun is you might not.
Well,
be able to
but I might even be.
It's a different, and people that do that, they love it.
Yep.
But it's not cheaper. It's a different way of seeing the country. It's okay.
It would just seem that we could do more. Like, it come up on a weekend and I'm like, geez, we don't have any gigs. We don't have anything. Let's just roll over let's go up to Selkirk Shores. Let's go over to Fairhaven and just, park and enjoy life.
It can be
just let me know. We'll show up.
And that's right. And Steve can just show up and we'll all play cards. That sounds good. George Powers, thank you so much. It's always a great time talking with you. And we'll send people over to your website, gpowers.com. Owner of Powers Accounting right there. George, have a great rest of the day.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it. Next up, Natasha Schmidt, co-owner of Rubberstone New York with a new product. Stick around. It's going to be fun on The Local Show.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We are back. Welcome back. We enjoy spending quality time with you on the weekends, and that's Steve and I from Zoey Advertising. I'm Tom Soccocio Jr., the creative director at Zoey Advertising. Steve Roberts is the owner of Zoey Advertising, and we are just tickled pink that the home show is coming up and spring is about to burst. And
I'm ready.
Steve's all set. He's got his fishing pole. Do you get new line every single year?
No, I change things up. I kind of do. Now that you mention that, I do shift some things up.
Because you're supposed to. Well, you can get the dry rot.
Monofilament line will dry rot.
Yeah,
I use
absolutely.
braided line.
Oh, do you?
Usually
fancy.
I kind of wear it out.
Uh-huh.
And it'll actually start to fray.
Right. I didn't know there was braided line.
So an
only know
8-pound
mono.
test is about 3 times stronger in braided.
Yeah, no kidding.
So if you could do math, that'd be 27-pound test. It'd be the equal of that.
Right.
So I use like a 6 braided, and that gives me like an 18, and it's thinner and it'll cast farther.
Well, I imagine that your line is pretty pristine since you don't really catch fish.
Last year I did not wear out a lot of line, Tom. There was a lot of reps.
There's not a lot of stress on the line.
But
I get you.
Yeah, but it's all good.
But people do stress about what they're going to do with their home and life savings, and that's where Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts can help.
What a nice transition, Tom. You're a real professional.
Well, it was a nice transition until you brought attention to it.
Well, here's what I know. They only stress if they haven't talked to John and Marie and the team at Safe Harbor.
Yes.
If they have, they de-stress because they don't worry that they're going to lose it to a nursing home. They don't worry that it isn't going where they want it to go. They don't worry about the taxes, all these things that for those people, or just anybody getting beyond our age, Tom.
Yeah, sure.
What's the plan? Because we're not going to live on this earth forever. I know I'm not.
Right.
And so if you haven't done it, or maybe you just have questions, they'll take your call. They'll answer your questions for free. Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts, 370-9977. 370-9977. They really know what they're doing, Tom.
Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts.com. Natasha Schmidt, it's great to have you on the show again. You're the co-owner of Rubberstone New York, for those people who don't know, and good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thanks for having me back.
Home show just around the corner. That's an exciting time because, well, a lot of things start to happen. All those free estimates that you gave over the winter. Now you actually have to do the jobs. You got that. You still have people calling for free estimates. And then, of course, you got this big display and all that. Tell people just briefly the background of the company and what you'll be doing at the home show.
Sure. So my husband and I, John, have been in operation since 2013. So we are approaching our 10-year anniversary. We've been installing Rubberstone here in Central New York since 2014, so just at 9 years. So we're a small family-owned company, and we have been at the home show every year. So if you've seen that big, beautiful, bright, slightly obnoxious display of rubber.
Right. Or if you've just walked around the fairgrounds, you've got it leading up to the exposition center, right?
So what kind of rubber? Explain it, because someone maybe has never heard of it.
Steve, grab her microphone and just put it down in front of her lips a little more there. There we go. Now
Are we good?
Yeah, there you go. You're very good.
All right, fantastic. Yep. So what was the
What's
question?
rubber stone?
What is rubber stone?
what is it?
So rubber stone is comprised of either black recycled rubber or synthetic man-made EPDM rubber granules. And they are mixed together with a polyurethane binder. They are poured in place and hand troweled. And every surface is customizable with over 20 different colors. You can mix and match.
Where do I put it?
choose, and you can put it on concrete, asphalt, wood, or paving stones, interior and exterior.
You can put a logo in there.
Yep, logo, borders, animals.
Animals.
I can put my dog in it.
We could put
You
a
can put
picture of
pictures of
Zoey in
Zoey.
it. How
Okay,
cute
sure.
would that be, though?
Like she gets stuck in it. What's the process of getting it installed?
You give us a call. We give you an estimate. You agree. We come in. We prep the surface. Then we come back the following day. Sometimes we could do it on the same day. Just depends on the deterioration or any chemical exposure on the concrete. But let's say worst case scenario, we come back the following day. Anything under 2,000 square feet, we install in one day. And 24 hours later, you're walking on it.
That's wonderful.
Done deal.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, my walkway, no weeds, no chips, no nothing. And I've run the snowblower over it several times. No problems there.
Nope.
We've chipped the ice off it. And but then when she's right when she says that, it's not just a sales pitch. When the sun hits your surface, it just melts. And any ice melts right away.
We have it up at camp on the seawall. Of course, we don't go up to camp this time. So if it melts, I'm sure it does.
It does, I
I'm sure
promise.
that it does. But it for the wall where the concrete was compromised, and it's by the water, so it's not destined to live. Concrete, especially by the water with the temperature changes, sealed it all in, and
Beautiful,
it's beautiful.
That's wonderful. Now, you have been touted by the mother company of Rubber Stone, which is out of Canada, right?
Yeah, Saskatchewan, Canada.
Yeah. So they have just thought that you are the holy grail of rubber stone, installers and sellers. But do you have another product that you also have with rubber stone? Something new?
Well, so we do have the Sierra Stone, which is part of Rubber Stone,
Yes.
and then we do our Enduraflake, which is epoxy floors. But this year we just got back from convention last week, and they introduced a new product, very exciting, called Vuba, and Rubber Stone Global has got exclusive rights to deal this product. It comes from the UK. That's where it started. But the big difference is this is made out of what they do is they take granite and marble and they break it down into like pea-sized stone.
Yes.
And then we mix it with a polyaspartic epoxy, so it's not like standard epoxy. Standard epoxy is very brittle, and it can also, like amber or turn colors, it's not UV stable.
Gotcha.
So this is mixed with a UV stable, slightly flexible epoxy-based material, and it's like I said, it's granite or marble, so it's also a poured in place and hand troweled product. But it's so we can't install our Sierra Stone in an exterior setting, which is the natural stone with the epoxy.
Yes.
Because of those things I just mentioned.
Sure.
Right.
So this is a way to give a really gorgeous upgraded look to specifically, like I'm thinking pools and patios that they want that Sierra Stone, but we can't do it. Now we have this product that is made for exterior applications that is absolutely beautiful.
So YouTube listeners, watchers, viewers are seeing her smile because she's not Vegas. She's very excited.
Very
so this solves a
excited.
problem.
It solves an issue that we keep coming up against because rubber is great. Rubber is slip resistant. It's cool. It can go over a multitude of surfaces that have experienced that degradation with the concrete.
Right.
But a lot of people want this classy, smooth, elegant look around their pools, and this really opens up the market
So
for that.
Vuba's like tuba with a V?
Yeah, like
Tuba with a V.
And I highly encourage any listeners or any followers of our own to go to Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, look up Vuba, and their online presence is immaculate.
Okay, so 315-463-5916 to get a quote. So write this down, 463-315, Tom. That's the big area
Yes,
code.
the big area
code. 463-5916, rubberstoneNewYork.com.
And we'll see you at the, whatever
the
that's
home show
called.
thingy.
Home show.
Yep.
Yes,
And we'll
coming
have
up.
a multitude of samples there of all of our
All the
products.
stuff.
So
Good. Well, that's going to wrap things up, Steve. On behalf of the local show, Zoey Advertising, and Tom and Steve, God bless you and your families. Try to get some vigorous activities today and every day and help someone out who might be less fortunate than you. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1, then again on Sunday mornings from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising, 3809.